Does trading frustrate you? Hi, it's Charlie giving you your weekend video and I hope you're very well. So let's go through some scenarios here of how trading can frustrate people. So you can have a situation, for example, where you have a series of losers, maybe interspersed by a winner, but you can have a series, overall, a series of losers. Now that can be pretty frustrating, can't it? Loser, 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 the occasional winner, and more losers. So that's one way that can frustrate a trader. Another way is it could be that you're into a nice profitable trade. You move your stop up to a given level. So let's say it's to here. The market comes down. Your stop was previously down here, so you've trailed your stop up. You've been in a nice profit, but it's not got to your target or whatever it is you're looking for. And the market's just come down enough to nick you out, only to then go all the way up to wherever your target was. Now that's got to be the king of frustration, hasn't it? And then there are other ways the market can frustrate you as well. It could be that price takes off and you were planning on getting into this trade at whatever point, and for whatever reason you hesitated, or maybe you weren't even around for it, but nevertheless you missed the trade, and then you've seen this trade that you'd planned to be in, and then it goes off and makes a monstrous run, and then you're sitting there frustrated and kicking yourself because you've missed out on that very trade that you've been looking for. So let's go back to the series of losers first of all, because this one is one that can really get to you. And so what, again, you have to always remind yourself is that really in the grand scheme of things, is this enough data for you to actually be able to draw any conclusions on it? The amount of data that I've just given you here is certainly not, and so you would need a much more larger data set, probably a minimum of 50 trades, I would say, to really have 50 minimum to start to build a picture of how you're overall getting on. And then if you are having winners and losers or a series of losers, then is there a point where, oh sorry, my phone's ringing. Is there a point where you look at it and you say, actually, yeah, but that trade there, I was a bit unlucky on that one. That one actually got to within a few pips of my target, ended up rolling back over and stopped me out. And this one over here, which was a loser, I trailed my stop up. So it was a small loser, but that one would have ended up becoming a winner. So what you end up doing is you review your trades, because if you don't review, at first glance that can look like a load of losers and amongst a couple of winners there. But actually, if you review your trade journal, you must keep a trading journal and log your trades, because you very quickly forget and you just see the losing trades and your P&L. But it belies the truth of what is actually going on, because actually you might say, well, actually that one was very close to being a winner there, and this one over here was very close to being a winner. And actually, overall then, if these two had been winners, this whole data set would look very different. And in fact, I'm not actually trading that badly. I'm not trading badly at all. I've just been a little bit unlucky in a couple of instances there. One where I've trailed a stop up and just been nicked out. Another one where I got nicked out or it was very, very close to its target. And so by doing that type of thing and keeping a trade journal, it helps you to put an element of positivity on what at first glance can look like a negative. So that's what we've got to do in trading. We've got a lot of the time see the positives, not the negatives, and yet lots of people do it the other way around and look at the negatives. And that's what we're looking at here, isn't it? It's what I've just sort of covered off there, which I think I've covered up here. So you get into a trade, you trail your stop up, and you get nicked out. Now, you could look at that as a negative and say, "Oh God, yeah, look, I've been stopped out. Oh, the market's out to get me. The market came for me, or whatever." Like people think, and so it's possible that the stop was trailed too aggressively. It's possible, but maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't on this situation. So take the positive from it. So what's the positive from this situation? Well, the positive is you could say, well, at least my analysis was right. And so make notes on that. Well, actually, my analysis was right. I was a bit unlucky, and put it down to that. Now, if it happened on, out of 100 trades, and this was happening, on a lot of them, of 100 winning trades, then you would say, right, yeah, I need to make adjustments to my stop loss management. But otherwise, take the positives from it rather than allowing yourself to get frustrated. Likewise down here. So in our last example, you've missed out on a trade that becomes a big winner. Now lots of traders would be really frustrated with themselves. Oh, I could have had so many gains, and all of that type of language that they'll use. I'm such an idiot for missing out, or I hesitated and I didn't take it. Oh, what a fool. I'd have made X amount of money. You hear that all the time. Again, take the positive from the situation. What's the positive? Well, at least my analysis was right. My analysis was right. I either missed the trade, so there's not much you can do about that if you missed it and then you've come back to it later and it's already flown and gone. If you hesitated though, so if you did hesitate, then you can say, well, what can I learn from this? That actually the hesitation has cost me money, but there's no point in me being frustrated about that. I might as well focus my attention on what the good things were, i.e. my analysis was good. So I can deal with the mindset stuff, because if my analysis is overall good, then all I've got to do is work on my mind and my mindset. And if across all of this, if you're working on your mindset, then it helps you to then not have those frustrations. And if you haven't got frustrations, then you're not having elevated cortisol. You're not getting stressed. You're not your emotion. I don't want to say emotionless, but you have desensitized emotions. And if you're not having frustrations, you're not carrying that as baggage over into the next trade, because that's the last thing we want to do, is carry this with us, because that's what happens. We get frustrated and we have all of that language I've just talked about, that negativity, and we carry that into the next trade. And what happens then is that we then start maybe over trading and all the other things that can happen as a result of being frustrated. So let's not allow ourselves to do it. Let's focus on the positives, do a few things, like I've said, a few tips here today, on how you can maintain a more positive mindset and look for the positives in what you've done or are doing. And even when you are getting stopped out at times, some stops, there's nothing you can do about it, just the trade just didn't work. But some, don't see it as a negative when you've just been nicked out only to go higher. Don't allow the negative emotion to come from it. See the positive that you can take from it and say, yeah, my analysis was pretty good on that. Just got to be unlucky there. Anyway, food for thought for this weekend. Have a lovely one, and I'll be back in touch next week.